Many residents of Clarkston are going to sleep tonight knowing that they're perfectly safe because there's adequate staffing in the city of Clarkston. What they don't realize is that August 22nd, this all could change as the city is threatening to cut staffing from 4-man shifts to 3-man shifts. So my name is Jared Lutz, and I've worked for the Clarkston Fire Department for 8 years. I've been full-time for the last 4 years, and our problem is exactly the staffing issue. It's a huge problem for our community as far as safety goes. It's obviously important to you and I for multiple reasons. There's a couple different options and a couple different steps that can be taken to solve it. So this all started out in 2014. We had a FEMA grant that hired 2 positions and 1 daytime position. Then in 2014, that grant ended. We've had a couple vacancies with 2 guys retiring and another person accepting a full-time job in Spokane. And then in 2016, we had our mayor and council decide that staffing was more than what was necessary, and they're attempting to lower that to 3-man shifts. So 3 versus 4-man staffing is pretty obvious. It's just cutting 1 person down per shift, and that affects us pretty significantly on our day-to-day tasks. The NFPA and NIST, the National Fire Protection Association, and the National Institute of Standards and Technology recommend that each company be staffed with 4 firefighters, and it's basically for safety and just really all fireground functions. So there's a thing called 2 in, 2 out, and it's based on Washington Administrative Code. I've got a sample for all of you there on the table. And there are a couple exceptions. Here's an example of what the WAC looks like. Here's a couple of exceptions. So 2 in, 2 out means that we have to have 2 firefighters outside of the structure in order for 2 to go in. So reducing this personnel from 4 to 3 is absolutely crucial to us being able to go inside and fight fire. Here's one of the exceptions is visualizing the occupant from the outside. And the other exception is if you have a person that comes outside of the structure and says there's still someone inside. So those are the only 2 exceptions to the 2 in, 2 out. Recently we had a call on Fair Street for smoke showing. We arrived, there was smoke coming out of the structure. No one knew if there was anyone inside. We had to wait till a 4th person showed up. Then we were able to take the door. There was smoke coming out of the building, and there was a woman inside. So it's absolutely crucial that we have those 4 people. The NFPA, obviously smoke kills way more people than fire does every year. I've got a little video here to kind of show you how fast fire can spread. And that's absolutely imperative that we get those guys on scene as fast as possible. So here it is. This is a little bit different. This is just a Christmas tree, and we have lightweight construction nowadays that really takes off fast. This is a little bit different, but you can get the picture of just how fast a fire can spread and realize how crucial it is that we get guys on scene and are able to enter the structure as soon as we show up with 4 guys. So obviously, fire, kind of a rule of thumb is that it doubles in size every minute. In this case, obviously, it's a lot faster. All right, so we have other EMS calls as well that 4-man crews this will affect. A big part of it is our standby callback. Whenever we have multiple calls, we won't be able to staff that second call if we only have 3 guys at the station because it takes 2 personnel for each EMS call. We also have a delayed response that I'm telling you about, and that's really just getting those guys to the station when that second call does come out. So here's the calls by ambulance. We have 3 ambulances that run in the city, and our second run ambulance ran 220 times, with the 3rd ambulance being 25 times. So it does happen, and the 2nd and 3rd ambulances do run calls. We'd have mutual aid issues. Decreased resources in Clarkston means we're going to need more from Lewiston and our surrounding neighbors. So they're going to have more ambulances over here, then the Lewiston residents could be the ones paying those consequences. Also, we have to respond to mutual aid events in Lewiston, which is going to mean that we're not putting that 4-man engine crew on a Lewiston call. It's also crucial for responder safety. Lifting patients can be extremely difficult. I've got a backboard here. You can imagine lifting a 250, 300-pound patient on that is not going to be safe with just 3 personnel. So I've got a picture here in this next slide that kind of demonstrates that. You can imagine moving this gentleman here is going to be a little bit tricky with 3 personnel. So there's a couple different solutions. The city had $1 million carryover this last year. They've kind of deemed this a budget crisis, but it doesn't appear to be the case. They've also talked about a 0.2% sales tax that could bring in $400,000, and that solved the problem easy with money to spare. There's an example of that budget that they're not filling those voids with the sales tax. So the big issues, obviously, 2 in, 2 out. We have the overlapping simultaneous calls. It's going to cause mutual aid issues, and it's a big problem for us being safe as well. So for those reasons, it's super important. None of us want to be outside of a fire and waiting to go in, meanwhile, while a child's inside choking on smoke, and it could really affect the lives and the citizens of the community. So that is the reasons that 3 and 4 man staffing is a huge issue, and it's very important that we staff with 4. Thank you.